this is the story time how I never will, never have, and never freaking did like my mother's sister. So, mind you, I never met this lady a day in my life. She literally disappeared 15 years ago. This is the same age, mind you, before I was born, though. 15 years ago, came back 15 years later, and had 2 children. They're both boys. One of them's finna be 8. The other one's finna be 6 now. Yeah. So they came and lived with me, my mom, and my stepdad. We lived in a double wide XL trailer, and it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I had my own bathroom. They had their own bathroom. By they, I mean my mom and my stepdad. So when they came to stay with us, they had to move the living room stuff around. Mind you, they didn't ask my stepdad. Why should they have to ask my stepdad? Because there was not no room for them. Honestly, there really wasn't. The living room was taken up by literally 90% of my mom's plant because she was a plant person. And then the other percent was taken up by a glass table, some fancy ass couches, and a giant TV screen. Okay? It was not that much space in the living room. Especially not for 3 people. But they did so anyway, and they ended up breaking my stepdad's brand new glass table. My dad loves him some luxury stuff. So he considers glass tables luxury. So he bought those a lot, and he would freak out even if it was like a coffee stain on there. But anyway, they moved the table. They put 3 air mattresses right there, and he came home. He was like, what the fuck? Mind you, my stepdad, he really do love watching his TV in front of his brand new recliner. He loved him a recliner. So he was thinking, okay, they're just going to stay like tonight. That's it. No, they stayed there for like a whole month. He was livid because he could not watch TV in there because the children was running around, hollering and screaming, breaking things, running into things, dropping things, do everything. Or they would watch cartoons, and he could never watch his TV in there because my mom, she would always hog the TV that's in the bedroom, and I would have my TV in my bedroom. I'll be watching it because I don't really like people like that, so I never was off there with them. So fast forward to the real main part. When they first moved in, this was like, I feel like it was like during summer because I didn't have school, but I feel like I did have school. I don't know. But anyway, so she took me to her apartment. Yes, they already had an apartment, but they all of a sudden felt like they didn't feel like staying here. So we had to move all their food out the fridges and the freezer and the cabinet and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And we put half their stuff in the storage. I'm thinking they finna throw this food away and go about their day. No, why in the hell? She made me put it in the car. We drive back all the way to my stepdad's house. And mind you, my mom, she's a grocery person. She loves going to grocery shop. So the fridge and the cabinets was always full. Especially when she literally went shopping the day before. It was really full. Why when we get there, I go to my room and I'm laying down because it's like, I already helped you put it in the car. You finna do this yourself. Like, I'm not finna do that with you. I already don't like you. I already have an iffy feeling about you, so I'm not finna do that for you. Like, an hour go by and I hear thumping, do. So I go out my room. Mind you, my room door is like directly, I can see right through the kitchen. Why did this lady take out all the frozen food that my mother just bought and the food that was in the fridge and the cabinets, take it out and sit it on the table? So I come out my room and I'm like, so I didn't call her auntie, but I'm finna say auntie, I don't want to say her name. I said, so auntie, my mom just bought that food and she's gonna be very mad if she come back to this house and all her food that she just bought is perishing on this table and on this floor. She was like, I don't care. I know your mother's my sister. I understand. She will understand me. I said, okay. I backed up, went back in the room and locked my door. I was like, oh, I'm not a part of it. Why the frick did my mom come home and she was like, Jada? I said, huh? Ooh. I already knew what it was, and I was ready to snitch. I come out of the room, I say, Mom, I didn't do it. Your sister did it. I told her not to do it. She said you wouldn't care. Da-da-da-da. Why in the hell did my mother in fact did not care? I was confused. But if I did that, I would have been tore up from behind in all sides of the house. I was like, it is a sister. So let me calm down. Calm down. No, I didn't. I was really mad. So, oh, yeah. School started. He just called me, so I had to rush and tell him I'm parked in the same parking lot. Anyway, so weekend school started, so I do it online. So every morning, my mom, she bought me a giant box of a variety of Pop-Tarts and whatnot. Why the hell I come in that one morning and none of the Pop-Tarts are there? The whole box is in the trash.
My bad, y'all. I completely forgot I made that video, went to work, and here I am. So let me continue. So yeah, my mom had bought them Pop-Tarts only for me because I had like a weird finicky issue. I used to be picky about my food. So I remember this was during COVID because I had home, I was schooling from my laptop from home. I woke up one morning and I would go grab a Pop-Tart like I usually do. Mind you, I barely finished one one of the boxes inside the giant variety pack. So this one day I had woke up, I grabbed my laptop, took it to the kitchen table because I wasn't allowed to do that in my room for some reason. I go in the pantry and where my Pop-Tarts, nowhere to be found, but I do see the box laying beside the trash can. So I'm thinking my mom had took the snacks and put them in her room because that's, just in case she don't want them to eat them. You would think, I don't know. So I knock on her door and I say, "Ma, can I get a Pop-Tart?" She was like, "Yeah, Jada, you already know you can. I don't know why you asking me." So I was like, "Okay, where'd you put them?" She was like, "Jada, in the pantry." "What do you mean where I put them?" I said, "Well, they're not in the pantry, so I thought you took them." This lady hopped up out that bed so quick and stumbled to the kitchen, and she opened the pantry. They was not there. Mind you, my mom, sister, and the two children are laying down in the living room. The living room and the kitchen is literally right beside each other. If you know how a trailer works, that's exactly how it works. My mom raised hell. I'm talking raised hell. She woke up everybody, started taking blankets off people, and she was like, "Where's my baby's Pop-Tarts?" The aunt was like, "My baby's ate them. Is there an issue?" "Why you say that to my mother? She finna whoop your ass now." My mom went off, as she should, because who was you talking to? My mom was like, "Well, that wasn't for your children. That was for my baby. I already told you what to eat, what not to eat, because they're for her and not for everybody. I don't even eat those. My husband don't even eat those." Woody woody whoop. Don was like, "I don't care what you eat and what you don't eat. I don't care what you say for your daughter. I don't care about none of that." Bruh, my mom drugged this lady off the air mattress she was on and stood over her and said, "You don't care about what?" That lady was scared to her bones. But anyway, they was arguing back and forth how siblings do. And then my mom had took me to the store and got me a different type of Pop-Tarts and told me keep them in my room and in my room only. Don't let nobody eat them. So that's what I did because I didn't want nobody to eat my stuff anyway. More issues started adding up, such as I had my own bathroom in my room. And one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I had to use the bathroom. So I walk in my bathroom and I step on the mat and it's straight piss. Yes, it's piss. Why? Because I smelt it. It was very wet. So the next morning I went to go to my mom and my mom was like, "Well, tell them not to use the bathroom no more. Come in here and use this bathroom." So that's what I did. I told them, "Hey, my mom said you can't use my bathroom no more because you keep peeing on the floor. You don't know how to pee in the toilet like a little boy's supposed to." They kept doing it. They kept pissing directly on my mat. So I told my mom again. She said, "Well, from now on, start locking your door every time you go in there because obviously they're not going to stop. So go ahead." Mind you, my mom's not that type of person that like locks doors, especially when it's between her daughter and her. She don't like that. But this time she had to make an exception because they was not trying to listen. So that's what I did. Mind you, this was the exact same time I had left my mom's room after she told me that. I went straight to my room. And like she told me to do is to lock the door after myself. So I had to put the latch on the door because the way our house was on a hill, so the door was going to fly back open. So I had put the latch on the door, and I kid you not, before the latch even settled down in the hole, why did my aunt come through the damn door busting through that shit? She busted through the door and tackled me on the bed. I was lost. Mind you, it's little on me versus looks like a 250-pound bitch. So I screamed for my mom. My mom comes in the room and she's like, "What's going on?" And she's like manhandling her sister off of me. And I tell her what's going on. And then the sister's like, "No, your daughter is being very disrespectful." She sat here and locked the door dead in my kid's face, saying that they can't come in here and use the bathroom no more. "Yeah, I heard y'all conversation. Y'all weird, y'all funny acting." My mom was like, "Well, I've been telling you to tell your kids to stop pissing on her floor. I've been telling you to at least help around. You don't want to do that. I've been telling you to stop eating things that don't belong to you in this house. I've been telling you this, I've been telling you that." So this is a very, very small issue. Why this lady and my mom going back and forth? All right, cool. The next day, basically the morning, I pretend like I sleep because like sometimes I really don't like being bothered in the morning. Like I said, I'm not a morning person. I hear a lot of commotion at my door and I'm like, what is that? So like I open my listening ears and apparently my sister's mom, not my sister's mom, my mom's sister shaved her head. Bald. She was like, "It's all because of Jada. She stressed me out." Me. I stressed her out in my own house when she did the things she did. Okay. She said, "It's all because of Jada. She's stressing me out." Whoop de whoop de whoop. And then she left. Part 2, hold on. So after she left or not, she didn't bring all her stuff with her. She only took a couple things and then left the main big things in there, like a big old 2 totes of clothes and then all 3 of the air mattresses. So I hear a car in the driveway and I think it's my stepdad getting off early, but it was not. It was her bald-headed ass. So I go back in my room and I lock the door and pretend like I'm not there. So then I really do hear my stepdad pulling up because he pulls up and he knocks on my door and I open the door and he's whispering to me, what is she doing here? Did she leave? Why is she back? And I was like, I don't know. Won't you go ask her? You're the adult. He was like, I kind of don't want to ask that big bitch. She's big as fuck. Why are you bigger than a man? And then he finally went go ask her, and then she got all defensive saying, well, if I want to stay here, I can stay wherever I want to stay. Mom, wherever my sister is, I'ma go. He came back in my room and was like, I thought she disappeared for 15 years. What does she mean by that? I was like, I don't know. That lady's crazy. Don't involve yourself. So yeah, that's how that went. So then he was like, do you want to go out and about with me? I was like, yeah, obviously. I don't want to stay here all day. So I'm literally putting my shoes on to go. Why do I hear two voices? It's both the little children. And so me and my stepdad looking at her and the children like, what's going on here? Are they helping you gather stuff? Like, I'm confused. She was like, no, my children don't really have nowhere to stay now that y'all kicked me out. So they're going to stay here until further notice. So me and my stepdad looked at each other like, so we're not going out no more? No, guess not. All right. So we had to stay at the house until my mother came back so we could go out. And then when my mom came back, she was confused on why they were still there. I was confused too. And so she tried to call her sister many times, but her sister wasn't answering. So she used my phone to call her, and she wasn't answering. So she used my stepdad's phone to call and didn't answer. So finally she asked the children where their mother was, and they was like, I don't know. They don't know nothing. Don't even know why she asked them. It's not a child's place, especially for their age. What they gonna know? So like 2 days pass, and the bald-headed lady decides to come back, and she decides to spend the night too. Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. Look at us. Big, giant, happy family. So they ended up breaking my stepfather's glass table. And me and my mom tried to hide it. That didn't go well because he found it as soon as he walked in the house and he was livid. So all three of us, me, my mom, and my stepdad had a little family gathering in the room that we locked. And we was like, we got to get them out of here. All three of them. They got to go. They got to go today. We don't know where they're going to go, but they got to go. So at the time I had a pet cat. I called her Burger. She didn't like neither one of them. And while everybody was asleep, the next morning, we heard like a loud popping sound. Like, you know how cats like to claw on couches? Yeah, they clawed on all. She clawed. Was it a he or she? I don't remember. But she clawed on all three of their mattresses and it popped them all. You know who took the blame for that? Me. You acting like I trained the cat to do that. I couldn't even train the motherfucker to stop scratching me. So my mom's sister started blaming me every single day about how I popped the air mattress with a knife when it clearly was cat scratches on there. But I got the blame for it. Even though my mom didn't believe her, I still got the blame for it because she was not going to let that go. Mind you, I'm like 14 years old. So then here comes my mother's birthday. Whoop, whoop. So, we all decided to throw my mother a birthday party. So she hasn't had a birthday party thrown for her since her mother passed. So we go to my great grandma's house and we throw it in the backyard. So by the time my mom gets there, whatnot, everybody's cooking out. We cooking on the grill, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So my Nana, she has like a metal screen door. You know how you close it and it makes a loud clank? Yeah, she has one of those for the backyard door. The children kept running in and out, so the door was always clank, 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 clank. And then my Nana got agitated and she was like, can you tell the kids stop running inside of this house? So I went out there and I was like, what did you need? What did y'all need? What did y'all need? Y'all running in and out of the house. They was like, oh, my mom said she wanted me to go get a cup so we could split this water bottle. I was like, okay, I'll go get one for you. So I go in the house and then they follow me in the house one by one, clanking the door in and out, in and out, in and out within the time span of 20 seconds. I kid you not. So I said, hey, y'all got to stop coming in and out of the house because y'all not closing the door properly. It's clanking and slamming. But here's your cup. I kid you not. Why this big beluga bald-headed bitch walk up to me talking about something? You're not going to talk to my kids that way. I don't talk to you that way and don't let nobody else talk to you that way. Mind you, when I said those things to the children, My mother was right there beside me. My aunt, not my aunt, my nana was right there saying, yeah, stop closing the door. What do you... And also, this big bald-headed eagle was all the way across the yard. What could you have heard that I said? Because I wasn't loud. So then my nana was like, whoa, 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 whoa. She didn't say nothing bad. What's the issue? My mom was just looking because, like, you know, it's her birthday. So it's like, she's going to be cool, calm, and collected. So the big bald-headed eagle bitch, she started going off to my son. She's so disrespectful. She keep disrespecting my children. Like, right now, she just told them, shut the fuck up. When did I say that? When? Hello? Everybody looking at this lady like she's crazy. Because she is crazy. She's crazy. So while they arguing, I just storm off and I'll go behind my nana car because it's like you're trying to ruin my mom's birthday and I'm trying to also not to engage in your ruiningness. So I go hide behind the car and I calm down. So my mom's best friend pull up and she asked me what's wrong. So I tell her what's wrong. My mom's best friend didn't like that lady either. So when she heard what happened, she went back there and started raising hell against her. Not in front of my mother, but in the house in the back room. So like a couple of minutes later, the bald-headed eagle and her two children come out and I hear crying. It's both of them crying. I'm like, why are y'all crying? What did y'all do? I'm confused. What happened? Did you get in trouble? They just looked at me and just rolled their eyes and kept on walking. I'm like, okay, little rat, what did I do? So the bald-headed eagle come around from behind them and was like, so you don't like my children? Tell them you don't like my children. What's wrong? I was like, nothing's wrong and I don't not like your children. She was like, well, then what's wrong? I was like, nothing's wrong. She was like, what's wrong then, Jada? What's wrong? Obviously there's something wrong. Do you not like them? Tell them you don't like them. I was like, is this bitch for real right now? I was like, no, I just don't like you. She was like, so you don't like me, huh? A child don't like an adult. That's crazy. I said, yeah, I guess the fuck it is crazy because, bitch, I really hate you. She's okay, I'm going to tell your mother what you told me, and we'll see how, and I'm going to tell her how I'm going to move about life from now on after what you just told me. I was like, okay, I don't give a damn. We're still going to have this birthday party with or without you. So she leaves, thank God. So we never see her until, like, the next day. We had to go back home, and then we forgot we left my mother's birthday cake at Nana house. Nobody opened it, nobody, cut it, nobody put the candles in. We just completely forgot because we was having such a great time. We just forgot. So 2 days later, we go back to my Nana house, grab the cake. All right, cool. Why when we get back to the house, that bald-headed eagle bitch shows up again? The devil just keep coming back and back and back. So, I'm keeping it cordial because my mom invited them over so they could all cut her cake with her. How'd you do that? So that's what happened. We all cut the cake. I took a piece of cake and I went in my room, ate it, and went to sleep. 3 days go by. I'm not really a cake person. My mom's not really a cake person, but I was really craving cake for some reason today. So I'm going to go into my mom's room and ask her for a slice of cake. She was like, yeah. So I go in the fridge. Mind you, it's nighttime. I go in the fridge and I take the cake out. And I said, ooh, what? Ooh, why the cake look like this? The cake looked played in. I'm talking the icing was like mushed everywhere. I'm not talking like lightly. I'm talking like you just took your hand and said, all on the cake. So I went back in the room, my mom's room, and I told her, why your cake looked infected. She was confused. She got up and she lit the cake and she went off. So apparently my mom's sister let her children play in the cake. She told them to do so. So my mom been trying to call this lady over and over and over and over and over. She called her 82 times. Yes, I remember because she made me spam call this lady also. And she did not answer the phone call. So then come to find out, she had blocked my mother. So we had a whole family calling her and she blocked everybody. So come to find out, this lady did a lot of things. Part 3. Nah, I don't feel like doing that. So we're going to keep talking about it. This lady had ended up piling up criminal charges against herself. Like, she did a hit and run with a cop car. She resisting police arrest. And then theft of a car. And then kidnapping of 2 children. And then she decided to get not locked up, but turn herself in on my birthday at 1 a.m. You know how long I've been hearing about that? My mother did never let that go. What did I do? I hate you forever. This is part 3 of how I will never, ever, ever in my freaking life like my mother's sister. But this is what I'm eating, y'all. I kind of eat that piece of corn right there. Don't worry about it. So after all that, you would think you would never see this heifer again, right? I thought that too.
Guess what? Bingo, right on the money. I saw her again. Bro, all right. So, I'm older now. About the time I saw her again, I'm older. I would say I'm 16, 17, just 2 years later. She comes around, and I wish she didn't. So at the time, my mom, she had found a new boyfriend. And her and his boyfriend, they had went out to go do some landscaping jobs together. All right, cool. So she had contacted my real father and, told him to come over and watch me and, bond with me. So that's what happened. And then a couple days in, as me and my dad are together, my mom's already gone. She already stocked up the fridge and everything. Cereal on deck, food on deck, deep freezer full, everything. A couple days go by as I'm with my real dad, and we hear a knock on the door. We're like, who the hell is that? So I'm thinking just my neighbor. But nah, I hear children. I hear them voices. Guess who it is? Guess who it is? It's that bald-headed scallywag and the 2 rats. Before I could tell my father not to open the door, you know what he does? He opens the door. Why would you do that? He opens the door, and I call my mom instantly. I'm not having no conversation with you bald eagle bitch. No. Call my mom, I'm like, yo, your sister just pulled up to the crib. How'd she even get the crib number? Mind you, we're in a whole different apartment now. My mom's like, yeah, I told her she could stay for a little while. You got to be kidding me! You ain't learned for the first 2 times? Man, what the fuck? My dad, mind you, my dad don't even know what the fuck's going on. So I'm looking at my dad like, nigga, you in for a roller coaster. So days go on, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Me and my dad bonding. We go get some Chick-fil-A together because I wanted Chick-fil-A. And I also wanted some cookies, but I wanted to make the cookies at home. So we went to Food Line and picked up some cookie dough. We got home, we made the cookies, and we also ate our Chick-fil-A. We bonded, we played video games on Roblox. I showed him how to play Roblox. Then I had school, so I went to school and I came back. Mind you, all day at school, I was thinking about the damn cookie. I made one giant fat cookie. That was mine. Mind you, we also didn't tell them that they could have our cookies. We also told them not to touch our shit. I came home looking for my fucking cookie. Did you think I found my fucking cookie? No, bitch, I was playing Dora the Explorer in the fucking kitchen. Couldn't find that motherfucker. They ate my fucking cookie. So I went upstairs and I told my daddy. And did, bitch. My daddy was like, so y'all ate my baby cookie? No, I'm playing. He did knock on the door and was like, yo, y'all ate my girl cookie. I'm gonna need one of y'all to cough up dollar bills. Because I did use a whole container of cookie dough for that cookie. I'm not gonna hold you. That container was like $12. So she gave him the money, but half of it was like $4. Then when she found out that he bought me and only me Chick-fil-A, she went off. She went to him and was like, why'd you only buy Jada some Chick-fil-A? You ain't buy my children no Chick-fil-A. You ain't even offer me no Chick-fil-A. Mind you, what the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? This is not your husband. This is my mommy's husband, ex-husband. He was like, I don't know y'all. I just met y'all and I kind of don't like y'all. He dead ass talks like that. So eventually they started arguing back and forth about who the hell should have bought Chick-fil-A, who didn't. In my opinion, my daddy shouldn't have bought them damn kids no goddamn Chick-fil-A. You the mother. Get some damn Chick-fil-A for your children. What the fuck? So, I'm going to school for the whole week. One day, I decided I want breakfast with my dad before school. So that's what happened. We go downstairs. We open the pantry. Mind you, like I said, my mother did stock the pantry all the way to both fridges and the deep freezer with food before she left. There was nothing in neither one of them. There was nothing in the fridges. There was nothing in the deep freezer. There was nothing in the pantry or the cabinets. So I did some investigation. So when the bald-headed eagle and her children left, I picked the lock on the door. You know what the fuck I found? All the food that my mother bought for her house that I live in for me and my father to eat in there locked up with her. So you know what I did? I called my mother. My mother didn't believe me the first time. But when she pulled up to drop off more groceries, I told her to come in there and look at what the fuck is going on. Because there's no way 2 people ate hella food like that in a week. She come in there and she starts flipping. As soon as she saw it was dead, empty, I'm talking ash, like dust, nothing in there. She went off. She waited until the bald-headed eagle came back, and she asked her, started questioning immediately as soon as she touched that fucking door. It was like, where the food at? Why'd you hide the food up instead in my room? Why the hell you locking the doors in this bitch? My mom went off on this lady, and props to you, mother. So the bald-headed eagle, obviously, excuses, was like, well, my children gotta eat too. Why he sit there and buy Jada some Chick-fil-A and buy them now? You think my children gotta starve? Yeah, starve. I don't know. But you gotta feed your children, baby. But that don't mean steal the whole kitchen and lock it up in my mother's bedroom just because she has a lock on her door. That don't mean that. Then, after all that, my mom sorted that shit out. And she told her, if you ever touch this pantry, I'm gonna beat your ass. And that's my aunt. The bald-headed eagle took that threat to heart and didn't do shit. So fast forward, my sister, she had gotten my mother a not Valentine's Day gift. It wasn't Valentine's Day. It was the Valentine's or Mother's Day gift. It was like a little bear with like a puffed up balloon, and she got that for her 2 years ago, and the balloon was still puffed up, like it was very, very full, like she just bought it. Why did this bald-headed eagle get in her feelings about the whole ordeal and decides to pop her balloon? She popped my mom's Mother's Day gift. Cause she's jealous, cause she's offended, cause she's bald. Mind you, I didn't even know until my mom had came back from the trip and she kicked the bald-headed eagle and the children out that the balloon was popped, because she went off on me and my father, and we was both very confused until she showed us. And then she had, mind you, she has a little camera in the living room, so she played it back because we was both telling her we didn't do that, we didn't even know what the hell that was, like, honestly, because I'd never seen it. Like, even though it'd be on the table, I walk past the table, I don't care, I just want my food and I go upstairs and eat, that's it. Why on the video footage this lady deadass took the biggest knife that we had in the kitchen, grabbed the bear by his head and say shank, 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 like a massacre, like a damn psychopath. My mother was heartbroken, like really, really sick to the stomach, heartbroken. Fuck you, you bald-headed ass bitch. We kicked her out and we never heard or seen from her until, like I said, until I thought. So recently, last year, 2024, she's been calling my whole family. The bald-headed eagle and been the whole family, man. Nobody answered them damn calls, except for my nana. She answered the one call and never did again, because this lady decided to ask my nana, hey, so can you babysit my kids and can I stay at your house for a couple days until I get this? My nana hung up that damn phone so fucking quick, you would think the fucking phone line shut down. Hey, you can't stay here, but you got to go. But back to the little cases that she conjured up herself. So the two kidnapped of the children was her children. She hid them somewhere in the country and didn't want to tell nobody where they were. Not even the police. She didn't want to tell them either. So she got charged with kidnapping. Then was a hit and run on the way to hide the children. She hit 2 cars and then just dipped off. Then a stolen vehicle. Apparently that car that she had was not registered in her name. Well, there was also some times where she would pop at me, my mom's house, and knock on the door. But my mom sleeps so heavy, and she has a room that's in the back instead of the front. So she barely heard the knocks. Even though the lady got louder and louder with the knocks, I would always make sure the dogs are barking so that my mother wouldn't wake up to them. And I would just stare at this lady out the window. She saw me stare at her, so I never give a fuck. But that's the end of all of that story. There's no more parts. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Eat my seafood.